Hello, friends. Gonna try to do a quick update on Heather and Xavier, see what they've been up to the last couple days. It's been pretty crazy. They went out for a night out on the town. Heather's wearing a fishnet, see-through top with a black bra, trying to look all sultry and sexy. But what's crazy is look at this picture of Xavier. He has on like gold high heels and stockings. Crazy to me that he go out dressed like that. He goes out dressed like that. Nuts, right? Um, so yeah, just take a look at this. Let's read a little bit about what Heather wrote on her Instagram. Here are a few of Heather's most recent posts on IG. I'm going to try to 2 times the speed on this, just to get through it quicker so we can keep this video at about 10 minutes long. After this, I'm going to play portions of her live. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's a lot of the repetitive same shit she's been saying for years, so here we go. I would do something terrible if it meant I could be with all 4 of my children. OMS, this world is not right. Okay, guys, so I'm editing this on TikTok, and I'm not the greatest with TikTok, and I don't know how to do 2 times the speed on here. So you can just pause to read. It's basically the same old shit. Advocate for me, poor me, I'm the victim. You know, Heather's always the victim, forever the victim. Okay, here she's saying that her and Xavier are out drinking. She doesn't drink often. She's saying that this is her 3rd time having a drink since she had her baby. And here she is, I assume, at the bar or wherever they were. But let's take a look at what happened after this night. She said she got bludgeoned. Heather's got a black eye. So I'm going to play portions of her live that she did on YouTube. She doesn't explain how this happened. She doesn't say who did it to her or who hurt her or who bludgeoned her. She did say at one point that Xavier slammed her on the ground, but who knows with her? Someone probably popped her in her face because she was mouthing off.
Out that the way I've suffered over the last 5 years has like put that to shame. Like those things, like no one ever busted my head open, when I was a teenager. No one. So it was hard, what I went through, being sent away and all of that, being abandoned and going through those emotional and psychological issues, but physically assaulted numerous times. What the fuck, you know? So let's fast forward to today. So after this period of housing instability from 2019, when I reported Dylan and I was thrown out of my home unlawfully, unjustly, my car, Cadillac CTS, was stolen and sold at auto auction, unlawfully, unjustly, unethically, immorally. And I was left to die outside, basically. Law enforcement and authorities looked the other way while I was sexually assaulted multiple times. When I called law enforcement to report these sexual assaults, they alleged that I had a mental health disorder and said I should go to the hospital. Xavier told me his brother was the district attorney of the state of Illinois, that they were familiar with my case, that they were going to help me. I was bludgeoned, stabbed, raped multiple times, extorted by a member of law enforcement, Detective David Shepard, manipulated, psychologically abused, and all of it on a recorded line through Cook County and the state of Illinois' prison system. And I'm broadcasting this to you live today from the parking lot, probably the same exact parking spot I was sitting in when I was bludgeoned with my own tire iron in the Cadillac 3 years ago. And there's still been, guess what? Big fucking shocker here. No restitution, no restoration, no advocacy from that instance. How's your life going? And all I want to do is start a healthcare consulting agency, hire other doctors to work with me, be the founder and owner, and work in a coordinated effort to provide intelligence to agencies, third-party agencies, not necessarily legal agencies, but they've got me out here getting fucking bludgeoned and assaulted and served with eviction notices. They served me an eviction. So last month, they started flooding my apartment with HIV test kits and Bibles. My landlord wouldn't even throw them away anymore. She was so fucking over it. She would just text me, get rid of all of these fucking packages. Keep in mind, I've paid my rent every single month since I've moved into this place and followed all of the rules. I'm not even there during the day. I leave at 7 in the morning every fucking morning. The number of times I've slept in, maybe 3, and one of them is the day that the sheriff came and served me with an eviction notice. I have court January 27th for eviction under the grounds that I had, oh, mind you, my apartment was broken into 5 or 6 times. The new apartment, not the Montclair one, because you can clearly go back in your little YouTube diary here on this same channel and see me complaining about them breaking into the Montclair apartment 3-4 years ago. But yeah, I have all the text messages. I'll upload them to my shorts where I'm messaging my landlord saying, hey, someone broke into my apartment and took a literal shit, dropped a deuce into my toilet. Can you please help me install a camera? I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. In April of this last year, I called law enforcement because someone broke in and stole a pillow and a Bluetooth speaker, along with my bank account information. Now, this month, they've pooped. They've left a huge mess in my bathroom. They've cooked food in the oven. They've moved shit around. That's pretty much, oh, and they've taken off the doorknob so that the doorknob literally will just pull right off when I get home. And they've taken pots and pans at Xavier's house and soap. I don't know anyone who would be in or out of my apartment. My kids have never told me, Mom, we need to go to your apartment. I've invited them there. They've never said, yes, I want to go. I don't have any friends left. I've been separated from my social circle for 6 years now, literally. I mean, they're my friends. I care for them and I don't have any ill will towards them, but we don't talk. We don't communicate. If we go around each other, there's some sort of huge curated fucking explosive, God knows what. So here we are, almost 3 years later after I was bludgeoned the first time with another fucking huge gash. Can't go to the hospital to have stitches because my insurance has been canceled unlawfully, unethically. I'm a natural born United States citizen, had my first job and started paying fucking taxes at 14 years old. I'm 39 this month in January, 29 forever. Eternal youth family. So I will have plastic surgery or whatever fucking type of biotechnology is out there to keep me looking young and happy and physically fit. And I think that might be another reason, you know? So here we are. At the time, I'm supposed to be seeing my 2-year-old son 3 visits a week. Second visit in 4 days that's been canceled. And as I said, it's not even being canceled. The driver that's usually very reliable, her phone is off and goes straight to voicemail. They're causing the car to go analog randomly. If you've ever had an Xbox 360 with the driving component, it'll vibrate, or the remote control will vibrate if you're doing a driving game and you like go in the bushes or something like that. They're causing my car to do that randomly while I'm just driving down the road, start vibrating violently, beeping, slamming on my brake when I'm not even, in danger of hitting anything. The bludgeoning. They've got Xavier's moods all over the fucking place. Xavier is not bipolar. Xavier has had periods of over 2-3 months at a time where he exhibits no symptoms of being weird or fucked up at all. And then randomly, it's like the people who are in charge of that, making Xavier appear to be bipolar, are like, oh shit, we haven't done anything to make him look bipolar lately. Let's make him throw Heather over his head onto her back on the sidewalk and just walk away scotch free because we say he's fucked up mentally. That's been my life. I'm a woman with a vagina, ovaries, a uterus, and breasts. I'm not a man or a trans. I don't have the muscle fucking mass or experience in combat to know how to fight another man. Please stop fucking booking us as quote unquote verses. Then they're doing verses between my children and I, posting it publicly and like laughing about it. The percentage of the population that still doesn't know what that means is large enough that they can continue to get away with it. Please advocate for my situation. I'm afraid. I am trying to save up enough money to find somewhere to go. There's no reason for an eviction. I told the landlord I would leave by choice. They said no. I called the landlord and said I've done nothing to violate. So the reason for the eviction is because they're claiming that I've had unknown occupants trespassing in my unit. Mind you, I have to now show the judge that I've been texting since April, letting the landlord know I don't know anyone. I've given no one permission to go into my apartment other than me and Xavier when I'm there. And when I spoke to the management company, they said that they were going to confirm that with my landlord, and that as long as that the landlord confirmed that I sent those texts, that they were not going to try to evict me. And then some fake sheriff came with eviction paperwork 3 days later. I called the office, no one has called me back. Then they returned my rent. I use it for my car payment. So but I have court for the eviction January the 27th. In this state, it's unlawful to throw people out of their house or turn off their gas or electricity from the months of, I believe, November to March. So I don't know what's going to happen though. I don't know if there's like loopholes around that or what. And as I said, I don't need to be evicted. If my landlord doesn't want me living where I'm living, all I need is proper notice and, the ability to leave, and I'm gone. I don't like being places where I'm not welcomed, where people don't celebrate me. I've done nothing wrong. My rent's been paid on time every single month since the month I moved in, until she just returned it, so I don't know what to fucking do. So they started sending HIV kits and Bibles. And when I say that they started sending that, I mean like big, huge, like boxes like this big. So after I work like 12-hour days, 8 to 12-hour days, and go through the emotional exhaustion of not being able to find my kids and know that they're okay, I then get home where I have to search for parking, sometimes several blocks away from the house, walk in the freezing fucking cold and wind to the apartment complex carrying multiple huge bags, Weston's bag, my gym bag, another bag. Um, and then I arrived to find those big boxes and angry notes from the landlord saying to take those big, huge boxes out to the dumpster. And then maybe I get like 5 or 6 hours of sleep. And then start it all over again. This is all documentation for the record. Sponsors, if you're out there, what the fuck? Why would you allow this for me? Pardon my French again. Why would you allow this for me? Why would you protect me this whole entire time and make me believe mentally that there was no more risk for any sort of physical assault and then allow that? What's going on here, and it's 9 out of 10 times there's some sort of correlation to Midnight Cinema, Midnight Studios, and I don't know anyone who works there anymore. I know that that was a production company that someone I knew 6 to 10 years ago was involved with, but every single time they mention that company, something bad happens to me physically or sexually or financially, or mentally. So if we could keep them the fuck away from me, that'd be fantastic. I do not consent to being in any horror movies. And I don't want to be bludgeoned ever again. So, yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Here were a few screenshots I grabbed for your viewing pleasure.